From Konya, we drove another 7 hours to Denizli, a town where Pamukkale is situated. On the way here, we saw a different scenery. Not so much plants or farms or fields. Instead, we saw lots of villages on the countryside with own solar panels on each roof and lots of wind turbine. In my country, wind turbine technology hardly can be seen in the countryside. Not only wind turbine and technology, but solar panels in the countryside? No, hardly any. Even middle-income earner cannot afford one solar panel for their own house. Is solar panel cheap here in Turkey? I don't know. But what I know, or what we know for sure, from this scenery all the way to Pamukkale, shows Turkey is very concerned about renewable energy and sustainable development using natural resources, not fossil fuel, with minimum impact to environment. With the rise of climate change, we cannot afford to ignore the destructions humans have done to environment due to greed and economic pursuit. We also came across lavender farm on the way to Salda Golu or Salda Lake. Oh my God, the fragrance of lavender suddenly is just jolt my senses and pull me from blur and slumber. Essential oil and soap sold here is therapeutic for the senses, for the mind, and for the body. Can you see the breathtaking view? What I've noticed about the lavender plant here is the fragrance. The fragrance here is stronger than the normal lavender plant I've seen in other places. Although the color of the lavender plant here is lighter and less bright, less attractive compared to the normal lavender plant. The plums here are juicy. We just can't resist. Then the apples, we had to stop by. We reached Salda Golu or Salda Lake around noon, about after 2. Even though the temperature is hot, the lake water is cold and clear, and the sand is white like salt. It is called the Maldives of Turkey. Then we arrived at our apartment, booked through Airbnb again. Can you see the view from here? One thing I noticed about the flats or apartments we've been staying in Turkey is they all have big or long balconies, compared to our apartment or flat in my country, where the balcony is small. I guess people here appreciate nature and they enjoy sitting out, talking and drinking chai. The next day after breakfast, we drove to Pamukkale. The entrance fee, my goodness, have gone up so much due to the inflation, and some of us decided not to enter. It was just not worth it. But anyway, those who entered treasured and cherished the moments through the pictures we took and the view we recorded. I'll share what is memorable here. Have a look. From Pamukkale, we drove back to Istanbul for another 7 hours or so, and this time for the last time. Once we reached Istanbul, we returned the car to the car rental company. Why? Because we can get almost anywhere in Istanbul by tram or metro underground. These two transportation is quite efficient, except the roads. Unpredictable traffic jam. Well, any city you go in any country is the same. Unpredictable traffic jam. So there was no need for driving anymore because we stayed at a place called Sultan Ahmed, where we can just hop on the tram and metro underground easily. In total, we drove about 4,500 kilometers all over Turkey with a Fiat car, which is like driving in my country from the north to south 3 times round and round. Oh, by the way, If you plan to rent a car, which is a good idea, get an auto car, automatic car. It's slightly more expensive, but less tiring. Due to the left-hand drive, now it can be quite tricky and dangerous if we are not careful, especially driving on narrow, steep slopes in Turkey. One local guy shared with us, he didn't even dare to drive in Turkey. So people who drive here must really be a master in driving. Alert and fast in shifting gears, like the taxi driver we met. Hoo la la! He drove like a pro in Istanbul. More about Istanbul and this interesting taxi driver in the next destination and our last. Let's go!